It's been interesting to see the mainstreaming of AI over the last 2 years or so.
Sure.
I guess it seems to have been ChatGPT was
That's for sure.
sort of killer app that
That's
put
for
it on
sure.
people's radar. It's interesting because artificial intelligence has been around, in some capacity, I guess, longer than I've been alive, but it's been there for a very long time. I'm always interested when a technology or an idea makes the jump from something which is niche and present, but
That's
not
right.
really well known or well understood or implemented, to something that everyone is suddenly talking about and using in various capacities.
It's the same with internet.
Yeah.
Like internet, the age of internet was approximately 40 years, if I'm not wrong, before it became popular.
Yeah.
So 40 years. AI is something the same. So AI existed 35, 40 years before it became popular. So yes. And I got all these knowledge and continued to build it. And I discovered one interesting thing. Once you can get money from VCs, possibly you can get money from users. And we launched the first prototype, like MVP, minimum valuable product for customers, launched in Moscow. And this was a simple software identifying apartments with a discount price. So literally, like, you could get something for $300,000, or you have some listings for 270, it's 10% discount, and this AI just highlights these opportunities for investors. And like first week, we got free users. Yeah, first week free users. After week we got 30, and in 2 months I think we got 1,000 or something like this.
Okay.
And all these guys were in a chat, in a Telegram chat, by the way. And I decided to ask them maybe they would like to invest. And I got in pandemic time first $2 million from these users online.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so this was this 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so without knowing personally.
That's actually very impressive.
Yes.
So you got 2 million from around 1,000 early users.
No, 1,000, but
several thousands of people.
It were like 40.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
40 with average check like $50,000.
Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. And so, tell me about the next steps from there.
Oh, next steps were dramatically more difficult.
Okay.
So we started to build a real AI for estimation apartment. So you could estimate apartment in 10 seconds. What is the real market price? What is going to be the rent for this apartment? And the most important part here is explanation why. So we can subdivide two AIs for now for B2C, for personal use. Like a black box AI, you don't know how it works, but it works. So ChatGPT, you don't know how it works, but it works and you use it. But the second type of AI, explainable AI. So once AI shows you the price of your apartment, for example, $300,000, you definitely would like to see explanation. You don't need just a number. And the second part is the most difficult thing to do in AI. Just not highlight the number, highlight some result, but explain to customer why the price is so, the rent is so. That was the difficult part.
Okay.
So we spent it.
Why is, I'm just trying to understand this technically.
Sure.
Why is that part difficult? Because I would have thought those inner workings, I thought it would be a matter of making those inner workings visible to the user rather than hiding them. Or is it that AI typically doesn't run through those in the algorithm? Why is that? Why is making AI, is the term explainable?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is that part difficult?
In real estate, you basically have 200 parameters identifying the real estate and the price, location, count of floors, views, floor plans, different things. So that's why it's difficult, because nobody has done it before, because the real estate market is completely difficult. So you can take two similar apartments in one building with different views, different price.
Yes.
You can take two buildings near each other. It's going to be a different price. You can take neighborhoods. It's going to be different price for the same building.
Yes.
The same building in one neighborhood and the same building in another is going to be different. So multiply, please, apartments, buildings, neighborhoods, locations, and city. Multiply each parameters like 10. You're going to get more than millions of combinations.
Yeah.
That's thing. So AI identifies these relations in-house with all these weights, etc. But to explain it easily to customers, this is a key. So what is explanation? This is a price. This is the listings near you, the similar listings. This listings was sold. This was exposition days. That's why your price is so. So this is an explanation part, the most important part.
I got you. So at this time, you are still in Moscow. How did you end up in Dubai?
The war started. So the war started, and before the war, we had already signed dozens of huge contracts with biggest banks, government entities, with biggest developers in Russia. And I thought my life are gonna be cool from that day.
Yeah.
But because 8 years before this was awful. And war started, we understood that from that day, it's impossible to build a global company from Russia. And we understood that we all in a company do not support this thing. And we understood that it's not going to be for a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to be for a very long time. So we decided to move. Half of the company moved in the first 2 weeks to Dubai. And the rest, half of the company moved after 3-4 months.
Okay.
So.
And how did you pick Dubai? Because to make that decision, and was that already on your radar as where you wanted to end up, or?
That's an interesting question, by the way.
Yeah.
We picked Saudi Arabia first.
Okay, interesting.
So Saudi Arabia, for me, it looked like the new Silicon Valley, probably. In time, of course, like in 30, 40, 50 years.
As a side note, that's so fascinating to me because I grew up there in the 80s, 90s,
really?
and early 2000s. Yeah, I grew up in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, really?
I lived there for 20 years.
Wow.
So to hear Saudi Arabia being called the potential next Silicon Valley, to me, that was just like a... when I was living there, no one would have uttered that sentence, right? It's just, I know exactly what you mean by it, but I'm just thinking, man, like it's come a long way.
That's for sure. That's for sure. But we saw tons of commitment from government and from different funds to invest in Saudi Arabia and IT business, AI business, technologies, etc. So we decided to pick Saudi Arabia first. But once I saw the country, once I saw the Riyadh, I generally understood that it's not the best time. So it's going to be in 3, 4, 5 years for like a culture, right? Yes. For startups, for IT businesses. Now it's not ready. That was my opinion. And at that time, one guy called me and said, hey, you were doing cool things in Russia. Could you please give me the technology for Dubai?
Okay.
I asked, how much do you want to pay for this?
Yeah.
He said, $150,000. Okay. So, and I asked, what is the share of the company you would like to have? He said, 10% is enough. I just calculated in my mind. So nothing exists in Dubai. The guy wanted to pay 150K for 10%. So the whole company could be 1.5 million for nothing. I said, okay, send me money. Yeah, yeah, he sent me money, and we copied our approach and technology for Dubai market.
Okay.
And I decided to visit Dubai because in my mind, Dubai was like a tourist city, like desert, like no alcohol, something like this.
People tend to have one of two perceptions Either that it's just like a backwards place in the desert and it's super oppressive and legalistic and it's horrible for women and this and this and this, or that it's like Las Vegas and it's just super flashy and expensive and shallow. There's these like two extreme opinions that people tend to have if they've
Las
never been.
Vegas without casinos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And I decided to visit this beautiful city. Before I visited already like as a tourist.
Okay.
But business,
Yeah.
IT, okay, let's visit the country. So, and I spoke with 10 entrepreneurs here, Russians and local Indians and UK entrepreneurs. And they said literally Dubai is a future. I decided to explore. And after 2 weeks, my efforts for exploring, I decided to buy back his shares.
You decided to buy what?
Buy back his shares.
Oh, okay.
Of this guy.
You realize undersold.
And I bought back for $450,000.
Wow, that guy made a good flip.
Yeah,
It's a good
so this guy made like 1,000 ROI.
Yeah.
Like IRR, like 3x.
Yeah.
And I decided that we should move to Dubai and start the company here because the market is ready. AI supported by governments heavily.
Yes.
And let's start. Let's try. And we started working in Dubai, and in 3 months we have developed the platform to highlight all new developments, all data around it, all neighborhoods, forecasting what is the best neighborhood for investment, all this stuff around. And people started to come and visit this website and asking us to help them buy something.
Okay.
We decided why not. So we we spoke with developers, signed 150 contracts just for selling them as a usual broker. And the business model at that time was people were coming to the website, visiting website, all this data for free. If they would like to invest, we made for them we had for them free expert on this platform. This expert helped them to pick the right property, and we matched with developer directly, like in a general WhatsApp chat with developer. And once the deal is done, a developer paid us commission. And that business model disrupted everything.